Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Walk of Ethan Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. This is episode 49. So today we're going to talk about the shows from Monday, July 3rd through Thursday, July 6th. So we'll just jump right into it. So I'm going to do going forward now, I'm going to be covering Big Japan Pro Wrestling as well. So we're going to kick it off with their first of four shows of the Big B style show. So in the opening match, we had Kaneko Hashino, Yuji Taniguchi and Misaki Maharo defeating the Bahama Brothers Shu and Kai Huzu Kishima Yoshida via G-Shock on Kai, 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Tag team match with Junior Heavyweight Champion Kaiji Tomato, Team of Kota Seki Fudo defeating Katsuki Hashimoto and Chihiro Shoki via Speedman on Hashimoto, 10 minutes and 54 seconds. Non-title match we had the Big Japan Tag Champs Astronauts Takada Nomura and Firme Abe defeating Daiji Hashimoto and Takaho Okada via pinfall in 10 minutes. 6-man tag team match with Yoshifumi Nakanoe, Damamoji So, and Hiroki Suzuki defeating Daisuke Sugimoto, Yoki Yamamoto, and Shihiro Iri via diamond elbow drop, 13 minutes and 55 seconds. Non-title match, we had the World Strong Heavyweight Champion Yu Oyagi defeat Leatherface via Kanzahiri Chop, 10 minutes and 51 seconds. In the main event, non-title light tube deathmatch, heavyweight champion Abdullah Kabashi Daichi Wakamatsu and Raijo Ito defeating the Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag team champions Yuki Ishikawa, Hideyoshi Kamatani, and Kasumi Kikiya via diving Bachachana elbow drop, 12 minutes and 53 seconds. So that was Big Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we go to Monday Night Raw. This is from Baltimore, Maryland. We kick it off with a recap of Money in the Bank. And then we see World Champion Seth Rollins went down the ring. He passed in the songs as a fans before welcome to Monday Night Rollins. He discussed the festivities of Money in the Bank and his victory over Finn Balor. Then he dresses SummerSlam. But before he continue, we hear the music of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and he makes his way down to the ring. He looks to ask Baltimore, what they want to talk about before he can finish, he was interrupted by Brock Lesnar's music. Lesnar appears on the ring and begins brawling with Cody. As he dumps him in the ring, goes for the F5, but Cody escapes and takes him out with a Cody cutter to close that segment. We're basically getting that SummerSlam match. It's just basically when it's going to happen. Basically when it's officially going to be confirmed, but we're not a bad opening segment. We come back after the break. Rollins has got back into the ring. It's his time to get back to business. Then he gets interrupted again, but this time by Judgment Day, and they appear. Women's World Champion replaces everyone is here to see Judgment Day take over. And Rollins questions her statement. He takes notes of Finn Balor's absence, asks where he is. He says, while Balor is prone to sneak attacks, someone tells him that this isn't the case. Ripley says Balor's whereabouts are not his business. It's senior Money in the Bank Dating Priest. Is the only thing he'd be concerned is about his Money in the Bank briefcase. He says he could cash on him anytime, including on this show. Rollins says Priest is forgetting how you catch the champion when they're being down, but he's as good as new. He says he would be playing the party, but he's happy to have a match. Priest says he hopes Rollins has the energy to be bitten by someone next to him. Rhea suggests Dominic Mysterio since she already has a title match later in the show and throws out the challenge on his behalf. And then Rollins accepts the challenge after getting some encouragement from the Baltimore fans to close that segment. So that'll be our main event of the show, non-title match. Well, speaking of Damian Priest, he's in the opening match. He goes one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Match starts with a lockup. They go back for a submission host before Priest lands a right hand. Nakamura hits a series of knee switch jaw. Then James' boot into it. Priest comes back with a forearm fuzzle stumps in the corner, says it with a delay vertical suplex. Nakamura escapes and hits a knee to the midsection. Priest sends him tumbling to the outside. Nakamura sends him into the barricade near the timekeeper's area, face first before Priest plants on top of spine first with a broken arrow as we go to commercial break. After the break, Nakamura fires a series of right hands and kicks. Nakamura plants it with a leg sweep and falls it with a kick, and it sends to the middle rope. He goes flying, but Priest catches the right hand, goes for self of heaven, but Nakamura counts in a row for a 2 count. Nakamura looks for an arm, but Priest blocks it, hits a spinning heel kick, then sets up a razor's edge, but Nakamura skips, hits a knee off the middle rope, looks for the king shots, so Priest tucks it away, lands a clothesline, and then hits the self of heaven for the victory at 9 minutes and 58 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this opening match. I just went 7 out of 10. And then Ronda Rousey makes it on the ring before she can speak. We hear the music of Shayna Baszler, and she is on the ring. If you missed what happened in Money in the Bank in the women's tag title match, Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey and basically cost them the women's tag team titles. Shayna says everyone's sick of Rousey. Speaking on the microphone, Ronda asks Shayna for an explanation, and she yells her that, and Baszler says she's outabsorbed. Baszler fans are frustrated. She asks for Ronda what's during her trial. She says she has scratched the claw to get where she is, and then there's someone there to shut her up. And then Rosa kicks her in the stomach, and that sends Baszler off the apron, thumps her back in the ring, and Shayna logs in an ankle lock, and she refuses to let go. And then Nate lands a brutal looking knee to the side of jaw Rousey, and then she leaves, and then Ronda only sells it for like 30. That was my only nitpick of this segment. Like, I wish Ronda sold it a little bit longer, but we're probably getting this match at SummerSlam. But overall, I actually enjoyed Shayna just basically talking how everyone, the fans feel about Ronda Rousey. But overall, I enjoyed it. It's just that, like I said, the Ronda that was selling. And then it was time for the women's tag team title contenders tag team tournament match. It's the way Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell versus Dana Brooke, Tegan Knox versus Emma and Nikki Cross versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Kane Carr and Katana Chance. So we started with the way versus Deville and Green. Indy Hartwell goes right for Sonya Deville, and then Candice LeRae takes it, and Hartwell hits a gutbuster. Ray looks for a springboard moonsault, but Deville rolls out of the way and takes in Green. She nails LeRae with a prettier, and Deville nails the knee to eliminate the way. So the next team to come in is Emma and Nikki Cross. Cross blindsides Green, takes it Emma, and she slides out of the ring. She asks LeRae if she's okay, as Emma, since Chelsea in the turnbuckle faces repeatedly, she hits a suplex, tosses her, and hits the Emma Might sandwich, basically a low crossbody into the corner. Green comes back with a form, and Emma looks to tag out to Nikki, but Nikki's nowhere to be found. Allow Green to hit the prettier and develop with another knee to eliminate that team. So our next team comes in, it is Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox. Knox comes in right away with a single leg draw kick on Green and lands a pair of running uppercuts, takes in Dana Brooke. Brooke and Knox plant Green face first, and Green throws to the outside for a title with Deville. And Brooke and Knox takes up both women with a baseball draw kicks. It didn't fully hit them, but whatever. As we go to break, we come back for break. We see Samantha Irving announces that Brooke and Knox were eliminated. Deville hits a knee to the jaw of Knox. So the final team is Katana Chance and Kane Carr, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Carr hits a kick to Deville's jaw before Chance tags and delivers a springboard moonsault. Green tags and delivers a double delay vertical suplex for Deville and then takes Deville back in. Deville hits a pair of right hands to Chance's midsection, and Green tags back in. Chance hits a kick and Carr tags in. Carter climbs the mower and drags Green up with her. Chance makes a blind tag, hits a hurt route to Green off the shoulders of Carter. That was a neat looking spot. Goes for the cover, but Deville broke up at the last minute. I'll be honest, I actually thought they had the winner for Deville broke up the pin. Green goes for the prettier, but Carter escapes. Deville takes a cheese shot at Carter while the referee distracted. Allows Green to hit the prettier for the win. So overall, time for this match went 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Honestly, I didn't like the. Honestly, in my first overall, I just went 3 out of 10. The crowd was dead for pretty much this whole match, with the exception of they woke up at the last few minutes of that. Pretty much after the Hurricanrana spot off the top rope, they pretty much woke up for that. But honestly, I should have been Green and Deville versus Carter and Chance, in my personal opinion. But I mean, I get you got to build this division if there's one. So Deville and Green are getting a shot at Raquel and Liv Morgan's women's tag titles to at a future date. But overall, I really liked it for the last. Honestly, just the Carter Chance versus Deville and Green part. Honestly, the rest I did not care about the rest of the match. And then Becky Lynch makes her way down the ring. She says the man's coming around to Baltimore, and while she can move past not win the women's Money Bank ladder match, she can't seem to move past Trish Stratus and calls her to the ring, and she comes down along with Sylvie Stark. Trish asks Becky if she thinks it's funny that she broke her face on Saturday, and says the crowd shouldn't be laughing at her because all they need masks to cover their ugly faces. She says she'll have to fight Becky, but isn't making it clear. Trish invites Sylvie to fight her instead, and Trish says she's sure. Lynch says Sylvie's better than her, and Trish says no one is better than her. Becky says Trish couldn't be her on her own, asks why that is the case. She said if Sylvie wants to get better, she has to go through her because Trish isn't there to help her, but rather to get glory. Stratus says she's the face of the women's division and gives reference to Becky. She demands respect and says Lynch tried to break the face of the women's division. Trish and Zoe charge Becky, but stop at her tracks, and Trish tells Lynch to keep her counter open next week because Zoe will be ready to close that segment. It was just there. And then we see Jackie Robin on the stage here. She welcomes Cody Rhodes to ringside, asks for his comments about Brock Lesnar's attack earlier in the show. Since he told Brock to be ready in What's Our Shem, he'll fight at any night and any time. Basically, we're getting a SummerSlam. Then we go to a 6-person tag team match. We got Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, Otis, and Maxine Dupree go against the Viking Raiders, Eric, Ivar, and Valhalla. Mixed tag rules, men face to men, women face to women. So Gable and Eric kick this match off with a lockup. Eric hits a short block, then falls over the form. Otis takes in, delivers a back elbow, falls over the splash in a corner and a caliper as we do a commercial break. We come back break. Otis and Eric go back forward, but Ivar takes it and gets low by Otis, but Gable takes it, hits a boot to the midsection of Ivar, falls over the blockbuster and his blower suplex, sets him on the top rope and plants him there. Then levels Eric on the outside, comes to toe and hits a flying headbutt on Ivar. Valhalla Max Dupree tags in. Dupree lands a pair of arm drags and suplex and delivers a splash in the corner before she sets it for the Caterpillar, but Valhalla lands a shot on her that stops her in her tracks. And then Dupree hits a code red to score the victory for Alpha Academy at 7 minutes and 55 seconds. These fans were pretty hyped for this match. I give this one 5 out of 10. And then we go to the women's world title match. The champion Rhea Ripley defends Natalya. Natalya taps Ripley on the ramp to toss her in the barricade and then chucks her into the ring steps and her sends her face bounce off the ring apron, tosses her back in the ring, and the bell officially sounds. Natalya rings her right hand, locks in the sharpshooter, but Rhea slides out of the ring. Natalya falls her out there, but Ripley catches her with a right hand and sends her hip bounce Ripley off the announce table before they get back in the ring, and Natalya connects with a German suplex. Ripley lands a right hand on Natalya's spine, falls with a headbutt, and delivers a kick, but Natalya hits a crossbody off the top rope. Ripley fires back with a kick to the head as we go to commercial break. We come back from break. Ripley hits a kick to Natalya's head, sets a 4 powerbomb. Natalya carries in reverse hurrah and a disses lariat. Ripley climbs to the top rope, hits a missile draw kick, then locks in the prism lock. Natalya sends Ripley in the middle turnbuckle to break the hold up, and then goes for the sharpshooter again. But Ripley sends her in the middle turnbuckle, goes to the top rope, and tries to go for a frog splash, but Natalya caught her straight in the face with a boot. Falls with a running power slam, locks in a sharpshooter. Ripley makes it under the bottom to break the hold and hits a kick, hit butt, and then the riptide to put Natalya away at 12 minutes and 45 seconds. I give this one 7 out of 10. This match actually ruled. I really enjoyed this match between these two, and we actually had a proper match, not like they're not chairs, but that went a minute 10. But I really enjoyed this. I give this one 7 out of 10. After the match, Ripley continues to beat down Natalya, but the women's tag champions Liv Morgan and Raquel run in to make the save. Then after the break, we had a recap of the Civil War tag match between the Bloodline and the Usos at Money in the Bank. And then we go to Matt Riddle, goes one with Giovanni Vinci. Speaking of Money in the Bank, Vinci attacks Riddle, hits a body slam and a springboard cross body for Riddle fires back with a kick to his face and a ripcord knee. Vinci plants him, hits a moonsault out of the corner, locks it, ankle up, but Riddle counters it into a roll up for the super quick win at a minute 40. I give this one 4 out of 10. Honestly, I wouldn't mind these two running it back, but give them like 10, 15 minutes. I think that would have been a lot better match. Then after the match, Vinci Ludwig Kaiser beat down Riddle, but we hear Drew McIntyre's music. He makes his way in the ring and helps it. And as he lays out Vinci with a Claymore and then stares at the Intercontinental Champion Gunther to close out segment. And then we get a backstage segment later on the show. Barnes Jackson interviews both men and challenge Vinci and Kaiser to a tag match for next week's Raw before they get some pints and go to Jimmy Sifu. And then we go to our main event, the non-title match. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins goes one with Dominic Mysterio. We get a lock-up start this matchup. Rollins says Dominic out of the ring and let's go flying, but he carries Rhea Ripley. Mysterio tries blindsiding, but Rollins saw him coming and sends him tumbling out of the ring and hits a knee off the apron as we go to commercial break. We come back from the break. Rollins hit 3 Migos to Dominic, climbs the top rope, but Priest pushes him off as Rhea distracts the referee. Dominic climbs to the top, hits a frog splash, fires out stomps, climbs back up, hits a second frog splash, more stomps, goes up to top rope once again, tries to go for a third frog splash for Rollins, gets the knees up, here's a pair of clotheslines, followed with a super kick, running forearms, lands a backbreaker, sets a forward pedigree, but Rollins clotheslines out of the ring, hit the tope suicida on him and Priest. He gets him back in the ring and lands a running elbow, tries to go for the curse stone, but Priest comes in the ring and lays him out with the self ahead for the DQ win, so Rollins gets the win by disqualification at 10 minutes. I give this one 5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad main event, but I didn't really like the DQ finish. Then after match, Priest rings some right hands on Rollins, stomps out of the ring, sets him in the ring steps in the announce table, tosses him the barricade and rings some more right hands, tries to go hit the flatter on top of the announce table, tries to go for the Razor's Edge for Rollins, overpowers him. Dominic nails Rollins in the head with the briefcase and dumps Rollins and the ring tells Priest to cash in. Before he can, we see Finn Balor blindsides, tries to go for the goody grab, but Priest gets in his face and they begin arguing. Dominic tries to make things smooth. Lets Rollins slip at other end. Dominic tries to stop him, but Rollins lays him out with a pedigree on the outside and then runs away. Priest and Balor continue to argue the close of this week's Raw. Overall, not a bad episode of Raw. Honestly, I give this one 6 out of 10. Only two matches I recommend checking out is Priest versus Nakamura and the Women's World Title match. That's the only two I recommend from this show. So next week's Raw, we got Becky Lynch versus Zoe Starks, Tommaso Ciampa versus Miz in no DQ match. We got promos from both men earlier in the show, and tag team match Imperium, Giovanni Vinci, Elizabeth Kaiser versus Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle. So that's the only three made for Monday Night Raw. But that was Monday Night Raw. And now we will go to Tuesday, July 4th. So we will kick it off with New Japan Pro Wrestling's Independence Night 1. This is from Tokyo Japan Korakuen Hall. Six-man tag team match with Oscar Lube, Yo, and Ryusuke Taguchi defeating Kango, Takahiro Kairatori, and Dragon Libre. Free direct drop on Dragon Libre. 10 minutes and 45 seconds. This was a pre-show match. So on the actual show, we have Bad Dude Tito defeating the DKC. 7 minutes and 29 seconds via Tequila Screwdriver. Six-man tag team match, we had Team Filthy, Jerome Nelson, Boris Isaacs, and JL Kratos defeating Alex Zane, Lance Archer, and Rai Oiwa via West Coast Cutter, 10 minutes and 26 seconds. Tom Lawler defeating Kusuke Fujita via Nasty Knee on the Brain, 8 minutes and 59 seconds. Tag team match, Eddie Kingston and Rocky Romero defeating Bull Club's strong openweight champ Kenta and Ghetto via Backfist to the Future on Ghetto, 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Tag team match, we had strong women's champion Will Nigo and Momo Congo defeating Donna Del Mondo's Julia and Tekla via Babe with the power on Tekla, 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Side note, Momo Congo, Julia, and Tekla are all from Stardom. Julia and Tekla are the Stardom champions. So this was a preview of the Strong Women's title match that'll be on night 2, which I'll get to when we get to the Wednesday portion. For the Strong Openweight Tag Team titles, the challengers Bullet Club War Dogs, Alex Coughlin, and Gabriel Kidd defeating the champions Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, 12 minutes and 18 seconds via Hijack Piledriver on Yoshihashi to win the Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. Speaking of tag titles, we go to the junior division side. We got Bullet Club Clark Connors and Gerald Maloney defeating the champions Cash 22, TJP, and Francisco Akira, 15 minutes and 36 seconds via full clip on TJP. In the main event, in a tag team no disqualification match, El Desperado and Jun Kasai defeating John Moxley and Homicide via Pancake Loco on Homicide, 18 minutes and 34 seconds. If I had to pick 4 matches from this show, I say check out the Strong Openweight Junior Heavyweight Tag Title matches and the Tag Team No DQ match. If I had to pick a 4th, I'd say the women's tag match would be fun as well. So that's the 4 I recommend. But that was New Japan. And then we go to Big Japan Pro Wrestling's Big B Style Night 2. Sweet Yoku Yamato defeating Yohanji Taniguchi via backslide, 7 minutes and 33 seconds. 6-man tag with the Brahman brothers Kei and Shu. Totego Kato defeating Raiju Ito, Katsuhiko Hashimoto, and Misaki Morihiro via 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Tag team match, we had Junior World Champion Kaji Tomato and Shihiro Iri defeating Chunchero Shoki, and Kachima Yoshida via Beast Bomber, 11 minutes and 37 seconds. For the Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag team titles, the champions Yuki Ishikawa, Hideyoshi Kamatani, and Kasami Kikiyuta defeating Deathmatch Heavyweight Champion Abdullah Kobashi, Daichi Wakamatsu, and Kankiro Hashino via Blaster Effect on Hashino, 11 minutes and 59 seconds. Non-title match, we had the Big Japan Tag Team Champions Astronauts defeating Kota Sekifuda and Ray Paloma, 12 minutes and 26 seconds. In the main event, 6-man tag match with World Strong Heavyweight Champion Oyagi Dasaki Sakimoto and Daichi Hashimoto defeating Yatsufumi Nakinio, Daimachi So, and Hiroki Suzuki via Katagiri Chop on Suzuki, 18 minutes and 31 seconds. So it's Big Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we go to GCW's 5th annual Backyard Wrestling debuts every 4th of July. So triple threat action, we had the Chad to be Ace Wire and Drake Browley, 12 minutes and 35 seconds. In a father first son loser leaves the yard match, Dark Angels v Mark Angel, 13 minutes and 3 seconds. Pizza Cat Jr. defeating Charlie Cactus, 5 minutes 11 seconds. In a fatal 6-way match, we have Mayday Jack defeating Big Finn, Deshaun, Lucky, Matt Awesome, and Vampiro. 11 minutes and 48 seconds. In a 2 out of 3 Ultra Final Door Devs match, Iman defeat Ariel Crow, 8 minutes and 3 seconds. 10-person tag team match, we had Alex Smith, Virgie the Mobster, Claude Morrow Jr., Haystack Steve, and Landscaper defeating GCW Tag Champ Jordan Oliver, Tara Sapp, Charlie Tiger, Cam Vaughn and Dragon, and BKT Killer, 18 minutes and 1 second. JJ Allen defeat Tarzan Duran 13 minutes and 49 seconds. And then main event non-title hair first hair match, Extreme Champion Joey Janela defeating Dilf 31 minutes and 39 seconds. Honestly, for this show, I give this one a 4. I thought this show was absolutely boring, to be brutally honest. I didn't. If I had to pick two, I'd probably say just check out the 6-way and the 10-person. That's probably the only two I recommend checking out. But other than that, it's a pretty skippable show. I do like GCW, but this show, and also Joey Janela versus the Deal should not go 31 minutes. I'm sorry, that was pretty stupid. But that was GCW. And it will go to NWA. They did a special USA since it was the 4th of July. So they showed old matches. So we have for the finals of the national title, Chris Adonis defeat GTG by referee's decision, sorry, 9.5 minutes. For the United States Tag Team titles, the challengers, Country Gentlemen, AJ Cons and Anthony Andrews, defeating the champions and fixers, Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Laruski, 6 minutes and 35 seconds. For the national title, EC3 defeating Silas Mason, 12 minutes and 56 seconds. That is from the Crockett Cup from last month. And the main for the women's title in a triple threat match, Camille defeating Chelsea Green and Kylie Kane, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. They just did almost like a best of show. The Chris Adonis GTG, the US and the women's were all from last year, I believe. And then, like I said, EC3 was from the Crockett Cup last month, but that was NWA. And then we'll go to NXT. Let's go. Sorry, just trying to find. There we go. So this was taped as this was the 4th of July. So we could go Davenport versus Roxanne Perez. Perez blindsides Davenport on the ring, center into the barricade face and crashing in the ring. Apron tosses her in the bell sounds. Basically doing spot from the Women's World title match on Raw. And then once the bell rings, Perez rings her right hands on Davenport before she rolls to the outside. Perez goes flying and levels her and rings her more right hands, gets Davenport back in the ring, and Roxanne hits a Russian leg sweep. Looks for a kick on the midsection, but Davenport catches her and then nails her with a clothesline. Roxanne hits a drop kick and an uppercut for Davenport, fires back with a right hand and sends Roxanne face first in the top rope and then sends her face first top turnbuckle. Roxanne hits a kick, sends to the middle rope, but Davenport pushes her up to the outside and hits a double stomp off the apron and then sends her spine first in the ring apron as we cut to a break. We come back from break. Roxanne hits a forearm to Davenport's jaw before Davenport plants her with a back suplex and then sends her on the turnbuckle, hits it enziguri to her spine, then plants her before they go back for her forearms. Davenport gets the upper hand, sends Roxanne crashes in the mat with one. Roxanne fires with a boot to the midsection, falls with a crossbody off the middle rope. She clotheslines Davenport out of the ring, hits a running uppercut. Davenport sends Perez crashing in the ring steps, hits a knee to the side of her face, and rolls into the ring as the referee begins a 10 count, but Roxanne beats it by getting a 9. Davenport hits the Falcon Arrow, goes for a pin, but Roxanne kicks out at 2.5. So Davenport nails her with 2 back-to-back Kamigoes for the victory at 12 minutes and 2 seconds. I give this one 6 out of 10. I enjoyed this opening match. Then we go backstage for the Ivan Ellis being interviewed with Kenzie Mitchell. Talk about the loser leaves NXT tag match in their main event, but she was interrupted by women's champion Tiffany Stratton and was talking trash to Niall. So we get that match next week, but I'll tell more of that after his review. There was a video package. Baron Corbin says from now on there's no more bullshit from FC's burning his old gimmicks into a fire. And then we go to our second match of the show. Mustafa Ali goes one with Tyler Bate. Match starts with a lockup, then go back for submission holds. In pinfall attempts for Ali hits a short tackle and mocks Tyler Bate by doing the signature pose. Bate sweeps Ali's legs from under him, but Ali locks that crossface. Bate escapes and locks an ankle up, but Ali escapes. He shoves Bate into the corner, hits a pair of chops, and Bate lands a dropkick and a running back elbow. Hits the middle elbow up the middle rope and closes Ali's deal to hit the running uppercut as we go to commercial break. We come out break. Bate fires up uppercut and Ali delivers back body drop. Ali lands an enziguri and a boot to the midsection, falls with DT and delivers a super kick, triggers to a crossface, but Bate escapes and hits the airplane spin. Ali carries to do a DT for a 2 count. Bate dumps Ali out of the ring, lets go flying over the top rope and takes him out. He gets him back in the ring, but Ali kicks him in the face and then before he can join it, hits a tope suicida. Ashton gets back inside the ring and Bate hits a clothesline, falls over with a pair of body slams, climbs to the top rope, looks for a spiral tap, but Ali rolls out of the way. Climbs up to the top of Bate, joins him, but Ali pushes him up and nails a 450 splash for the victory at 13 minutes and 32 seconds. I really enjoyed this match. I just won 7 out of 10. And after the match, Ali challenges Wesley for the North American title at the Great American Bash. Then we go backstage where Kenzie Mitchell's with the Schisms, Ava Rain, and Joe Gacy. And Gacy guaranteed the right team will win, and the problem from NXT will leave forever. And then we go to Kylie and Jordan goes one with Tane Paxley. Match starts off with both ladies going back for submission holds. Jordan hits draw kick, arm drag, another draw kick, and another arm drag. Practically hit the backbreaker and an elbow before Jordan lays her out with a stunner for the victory at 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Spoiler, this is actually the shortest match on the show, but I just went 5. It was cool. This was basically a showcase match for Kylie Jordan, but I was pretty impressed by her. After match, we see Corjay heads out to the ring and says Jordan must be doing something right with Dana Brooke in her corner. She says a friend of Brooks is an enemy of hers and rags on the fans in Orlando, Florida. Jordan says she has another match left in her, but Cora tells her not tell her what to do and retreats to the back. So that match is official for next week, but like so, I'll top of the rest after that. Then we head over to a video of Chase U, Class session, and they give Andre Chase a warm welcome. Andre thanks him and gives shouts to Duke Hudson for stepping up during his absence and Thea Hill in her efforts in the women's title match last week. He says he had enough on Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak touring around with Hale at his school before round up his students. And then someone asked a question about getting more sessions from Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. On Trace was about to start yelling, but Duke took over and Duke did it for him. Then we got a big Chase U champ. And then we go to the NXT Underground match, Eddie Thorpe versus Damon Kemp. This match, if you've seen Raw or Bloodsport GCW, you have to win by TKO or submission. Thorpe hits a kick to Kemp's thigh. Kemp's raised her right hands and plans for brings him more right hands to locks his sleeper, but he escapes and actually spills to the outside. Kemp fires him more right hands and sends Thorpe crashing in the barricade, tosses him over on top of it. Then Thorpe locks in submission, but Kemp managed to counter and power Thorpe on the apron spline first. And by the way, Gable Steveson was in the corner of Eddie Thorpe. We had some of the Performance Center wrestlers all around ringside. So Kemp drags Thorpe back in the ring, delivers a German suplex, but Eddie fires back with a kick to the midsection, but Kemp transitions into a sleeper, but Thorpe escapes once more and delivers a move to Kemp's face and hits a German suplex. Kemp lands a forearm, but Eddie responds with a knee. Kemp hits a German suplex to Thorpe on the floor, but Thorpe sends him crashing in the ring post over the German suplex, gets Kemp back in the ring and walks a triangle, rains down elbows as Kemp began the fight, and the referee calls for the bell. So Eddie Thorpe gets to win by TKO at 7 minutes and 28 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this. I just went 6 out of 10. That bump, Thorpe with Kemp overhead Billy by suplex him from the ring to the floor. That was a nasty looking bump, but I was the 3 matches they had so far. This is actually my favorite one, but I just went 6 out of 10. In that match, some guy was touching Gable Stevenson's Olympic gold medal, so he laid him over German suplex, and he took 3 other superstars out with them with suplex. One of them was, by the way, Miles Bourne. And then we hit a review of NXT champion Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and they played Judgment at NXT. And then we go to the jailhouse where Tony and Joe speak with Stacks. He tells a deal he made with Joe Coffey. Stacks says him and Joe agreed to a match. Stacks won the charges would be dropped against D'Angelo. So D'Angelo reacts by breaking the phone. And then we go to more women's action. This time is Laya Valkyria goes on with JC Jane. Jane fires the right hands on Valkyria's midsection, but Laya cuts back with an arm drag. Both of us short and they go back for a submission holds for the action spills to the outside, and Jane sends Valkyria into the apron face first as we go to break. After the break, Jane has a Boston Crab locked in, but Valkyria escapes and Jane hits a super kick, looks for Camel, but Valkyria ducks it away and hits a pair of clotheslines. Fires up a couple kicks and a boot to the spine. She lands a forearm and a leg drop from the apron before Jane rolls to the outside, and Valkyria delivers a kick for the middle rope, tosses her back in the ring, and climbs to the top rope. Looks to go flying, but Jane moves out of the way, delivers a senton, and Valkyria fires back with a spinning back heel kick for the victory at 8 minutes and 54 seconds. This action was pretty impressive. Fun one. I guess 6 out of 10 as well. And then after the match, Jane fires a right hand on Valkyria, then tears up her signature wings before falling on top of her. Then we go back to we see Noam Dar was crying to a picture of the haircut title before the wrestling metaphor. Jericho Jackson, Lewis Legend, and or meant to pull him out of the room, and while Noam Dar is yelling 5 more minutes. Then we hit a review of Keon James entering an office, only finding G. Dolan gave him a makeover, calling her the said phony, basically saying the war is on. Then we go back to Reigns Weezy Fallbar just beating the shit out of Javier Bernard, sends in the ring steps, crouching the barricade, try to power him for the announce table with Mr. Stone Purse doing so, but Weather just decided not to listen to the fans and puts Bernard through the announce table to close that segment. And then we get a vignette of Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. They'll make their debut next week. And then we go to our main event match of the show. Loser leaves NXT tag match. The Dyad, Jagger Reed, and Rhett Fowler go against the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus. Dyad wastes no time to go straight after the Creed brothers as they dump Julius Creed out of the ring for a double team on Brutus. Bruce shoves Rip Fowler into the corner, fires of Shores in the midsection as Julius sees Bruce as a launching pad that hits a superplex to Jagger Reed. Brutus dumps Fowler out of the ring and hits a Brutus ball over the top onto the floor. Match officially starts with Julius climbs the top rope, hits a beautiful shooting star press, goes for the cover, but Gacy drags Reed out of the ring, but the referee ejects him from ringside as we go to break. After the break, Fowler is wearing down Brutus with a submission hold as then Fowler stomps on Brutus' arm and hits a clothesline. Brutus comes back with a suplex and takes Julius as Rip tags in Jagger. Julius hits a belly by suplex on Fowler, then hits Reed with one and clotheslines both men on the apron and then nails him with a dropkick. Then he dumps Fowler back inside the ring. Fowler rolls up Julius for a 2 count, then he falls up with a knee. Bruce tags in and Creed Brothers hit a double team maneuver to Fowler. Reed tags in and plants Julius with some help from Fowler. Goes for a cover, only got a 2 count, and then hits a powerbomb as we go to our second commercial break of the show. After this match, After the second break, Fowler delivers a forearm to Julius for locks in and knee. Submission, but Julius fights his way out and tags in Brutus. Brutus hits the Brutus smash and plants Fowler with it. And hits a 450 splash off the top rope, logs an ankle up, but Fowler fights his way out and hits a code breaker off the middle rope. Reed and Julius tags in. Fowler catches Brutus in a electric chair position on the outside, and Reed takes him out to Tope Suicida. Julius dares to die to get back in the ring, and they do, and it beats down both of them, hits a shooting star press off the top rope, take both men down. Ava tries to interfere, but Ivy Nile takes her out before a masked person runs from the crowd and hit butts him with the Schism mask, and then Fowler tags in Reed, hits a double code breaker for the win at 17 minutes and 58 seconds. Longest match of the show, not a bad thing, but I'm actually a little surprised Creed Brothers actually lost his, everybody knows the Dias contract coming up in October. Obviously, they're probably leaving, but I am a little surprised though that Dias actually was not leaving NXT, but I really enjoyed this one. I give this one 7 out of 10. Also, this is my match of the night. Mustafa Ali Talib would be second. And then after break, we hit backstage. Finn Balor accepts Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams invitation NXT next week. And we saw during the break, Creed Brothers waving goodbye to the fans. And then our main event segment of the show, Braun Breaker makes his way into the ring. He says he could be against Seth Rollins 2 weeks ago for the World Heavyweight title, and no one could believe he could actually win until he speared Rollins. He says, well, Rollins proved how good he was so close to win the World Heavyweight title after 78 matches. He says Rollins has more premium live event matches alone than he has overall. They get the luxury of traveling the world and honing his craft. Breaker says he has proven he can hang with the best at 25 years old and says he has a lot more people to beat and many more titles to win. He hopes to address his future before he can. We hear the music of Ilya Dragunov, and he makes his way down to the ring. Dragunov tells Braun he is his next issue. He's accounted to cover like a man. He says Braun is in between himself and the NXT title and is here to eliminate him. Then he nails him with a kick and they begin brawling. Officials and members of the locker room try to break it up, but it failed. And then they brawled to the backstage to close out this week's NXT. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this one. Overall score, I just went 7 out of 10. Honestly, only 2 matches. Well, actually, I'll give 3. So for for Tyler Bate and Loser leaves NXT match. And I'll throw the Underground match. That's the 3 I recommend. Check it out. So next week's show, we have 5 matches. We have Cora Jade versus Connie Jordan. Non-title match, Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton versus Ivy Nile. Tag team match, Chase U, Andres Duke Hudson versus Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. It's a freedom or trial match. Dax goes one with Joe Coffey. If Dax wins, charges against Tony D'Angelo are dropped. And if Coffey wins, D'Angelo must go to trial. And Bronco Nima and Luke Cam Price will be as tag team action. So that is the NXT show. And now we will move over to the Wednesday, July 5th shows. So we'll kick it off with the Big Japan Pro Wrestling's Night 3 of the Big B Style Tour. So tag team match, Raiju Ito and Yuki Yamato defeat Yuji Taniguchi and Misaki Maharo via Dragon Kicker 7 minutes and 35 seconds. 6-man tag team match with Junior Champion Kaji Tomato, Shihiro Iri, and Kota Sekifuda defeat Big Japan Tag Champion Firme Abe, Katsuhiki Hashimoto, and Chihiro Shoki via Red Eye 4 minutes and 49 seconds. 6-man tag team match with World Strong Heavyweight Champion Yu Oyaki, Daiji Hashimoto, and Hiyoshi Kamatani defeat Big Japan's Tag Team Champion Takai Nomura, Yoshifumi Nakanio, and Katsumasa Yoshida via Katsuhiri Chop 9 minutes and 6 seconds. Tag team match with the Brand Brothers Shu and Kai defeating Kankaro Hashino and Kichiro Matsuyama 10 minutes and 10 seconds. I do apologize if I butchered that last name wrong. Danjimori So defeating Takayu Kato via Black Rain 12 minutes and 46 seconds. Sasaki Sakimoto defeating Hiroki Suzuki via German suplex 15 minutes and 59 seconds. And the main event in a tag team like tube match. 2/3 of the Yokohama Shopping Street six-man tag team champions Yuki Ishikawa and Katsumi Yuta defeating deathmatch heavyweight champion Abdullah Kobashi and Daichi Wakamatsu via laser effect on Wakamatsu, 13 minutes and 17 seconds. So that was Big Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we go to night 2 of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Independence Day Tour. So we had 6-man tag team match. We had 6 or 9, Ryusuke Taguchi and Master Wild, team up with Bull and Oleg defeating Dragon Libre, Takara Kataori, and Rika. Elements of 36 as via German suplex. This was pre-show, and also the Dragon Libre team is from the promotion Freedoms. And the main show starts with Joshi replacing J.R. Crows. Crows got injured on night 1, so he was off this show. He defeated Oscar Louis 5 minutes 23 seconds via Lariat. Tag team match we catch 22. TJ Beam for Skull Kira defeated Homicide and Right Oyoe. 12 minutes and 9 seconds via 2-2 on Oyoe. And then originally this was supposed to be a tag match between Carco Drama versus Rocket Man and Yo of Chaos, but before the match, Romero challenged him to put their junior tag titles on the line, so it was accepted. So the champions Bullet Club defeating Chaos 12 minutes 5 seconds via Bullet Club on Rocket Romero to retain the titles. Tag team match we had Murder Sauce artist Lance Archer and Alex Same defeating Dean DK's Bad Dude Tito and Kusei Fujita 9 minutes and 31 seconds via Lariat on Fujita. 6-man tag team match with 2/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag champs Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi team with the DKC, defeating Team Filthy's Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Joel Nelson 13 minutes and 10 seconds via small package on Isaacs. For the strong women's title, Julia, she defeats the champion Will Nigo 13 minutes and 28 seconds via Northern Lights Bomb to become the second ever strong women's champion. For the IWGP Tag Team titles, the champions Bishamon, Hiroki and Yoshihashi defeating the strong openweight tag team champions Bullet Club War Dogs 11 minutes and 29 seconds via Shoto. And yes, Bishamon were double champions, so each night they were defending the title separately, so they went 1-1 on the show. And it's semi-main event for the strong openweight title, Eddie Kingston defeating champion Kenta 13.5 minutes via Northern Lights Bomb to win the strong openweight title. So Eddie Kingston will go on his first G1 as strong openweight champion. And the main event, any final death match, Jon Moxley defeating El Desperado via Deathfire 20 minutes and 33 seconds. For this Independence Night 2 show, I recommend checking out basically all the title matches on here and the final death match. So, I mean, 5 out of 10 matches is not too bad. That's a 50% score. But honestly, I'd just say check out the Junior Tag Title match, Strong Women's Title match, IWGP Tag Title match, and Strong Openweight Title, along with the final death. That's the 5 I recommend checking out. So, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we go to AEW Dynamite. So we had a quarterfinal match of the AEW World Tag Team Title World Terrors Tournament. International Champion Orange Cassidy teams with Darby Allin, defeating Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Trios Action, The Acclaim, Anthony Bones, Max Caster, team up Billy Gunn, defeat the Bollywood Boys, Groove, and Hara Shira, and the Blade 6 minutes 39 seconds. Another quarterfinal match of the Blind Unlimited Tag Team Tournament. Adam Cole and AEW World Champion MJF defeat Matt Menard and the Butcher 8 minutes and 50 seconds. In the final quarterfinal match of the 2023 Women's Owen Hart Cup, Ruby Soho defeating the last year's winner Britt Baker 10 minutes and 7 seconds. She will face Sky Blue in the semifinals. In the main event, Kenny Omega defeating Wheeler Yuta 16 minutes and 17 seconds. So that was AEW. And then we go to Fusion. Mostly it is on Thursday, but this week they did it on Wednesday as they have a live pay-per-view coming tomorrow as we record this. Never say never. So opening contest for the middleweight title, champion Akira defeating Lindsay Dorado 9 minutes and 1 second to retain the title. Mandy Leon defeat Bayley Starks 2 minutes and 35 seconds in a hardcore match for the MLW World Tag Team titles. The champions, the Samoan SWAT team, Juicy Fanu and Lance NAI, defeating Second Gear Cruz, One Call Manders, and Mace Warner 7 minutes and 33 seconds. That's MLW. And then we'll close out this week's shows with the Thursday, July 6 shows. So we will kick it off with Big Japan Pro Wrestling's Big Style Night 4 tour. So Kirito defeat Yuji Taniguchi via Schoolboy 8 minutes and 39 seconds. Triple threat tag team match with Chihiro Shoki and Kachi Masada Yoshida defeating the Brahman brothers and junior world champion Kaiji Tomato and Kota Seiki Fuda via same clutch, 11 minutes and 13 seconds. Tag team match, one half of the Big Japan Tag Team Champions, Minoru Abe, teaming up with Kazuhiki Hashimoto versus Takara Kato and Hiroki Suzuki, ends in a no contest, 5 minutes and 28 seconds. 8-man tag team Bring Your Own Weapons match, the Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag team Yuki Ishikawa, Hidoshi Kamatani, and Kazami Kitia, team of Raiji Ito, defeating Deathmatch Heavyweight Champion Abdullah Kobashi, Daichi Wakamatsu, Kenkora Hashino, and Yoki Yamamoto. Fate lost respect on Hashino, 10 minutes 51 seconds. Tag team match with World Strong Heavyweight Champion Yu Oyagi and Shihiro Iri, defeating Yatsufumi Nagayoi and Damachi Sophie, Kasiri Chop, 8 minutes and 43 seconds. In the main event, more tag team match. This time, it's Minoru Suzuki and Tasaki Sakimoto, defeating one half of the Big Japan Tag Champs Takara Nomura and Daiji Hashimoto via Gotch Style Padra and Nomura, 16 minutes and 16 seconds. So it's Big Japan Pro Wrestling. And then we go to WWE's main event. We had Apollo Crews with Rick Moss and JD McDonald defeating Akira Tozawa. And then we'll go to Impact Wrestling. So before the Impact, we had Dirty Dog defeating Chris C, 7 minutes and 4 seconds. So the actual Impact show just started with Eddie Edwards defeating Frankie Kazarian, tag team match of Rich Swann and Sam McGowan defeating Champagne and Shira, Jonathan Gresham defeating Angels, and a 2-on-1 handicap match, PCO defeating the Good Hands, Jason Hodge, John Skyler, Josiah Shaw defeating Cordy Rush. In the main event tag team match, a little preview of Slammiversary, Leo Rush and Nick Aldis defeating the Motor City Machine Guns, Impact World Champion Alex Shelley, and X Division Champion Chris Sabin. So next week's Impact show, we had Zachary Wentz Impact World Tag Team Champ Chris Bay, Mike Bailey versus Kevin Knight, Dion Prazo holds an open challenge for the Knockouts title, and Brian Myers and Moose teams have to go against Rich Swann and Sami Callihan. And then the Summerversary card on July 15th, Dion Prazo defends the Knockouts title against Trinity, Alex Shelley defends the Impact World title against Nick Aldis, Scott D'Amore PCO are in tag team match against Bully Ray and Steve Macklin. Fatal 4 match for the Impact World Tag Team titles, the champions ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, defense Stop Culture, Mark Andrews, and Flash Morgan Webster, Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, and Moose and Brian Myers. In the Ultimate X match, the winner gets a shot at the X-Division title. Fatal Following. Mike Bailey, Jonathan Gresham, Kushida, Kevin Knight, and Angels are in this match. Speaking of X-Division title, Chris Sabin will defend against Leo Rush. For the Knockouts Tag Team titles, the Coven, Taylor Wilde, and Kylan King defend against Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. On the pre-show or counter Slammiversary, for the Digital Media title, Joe Hendry defends Kenny King, and Frankie Kazarian goes against Eddie Edwards in a rematch. So that was Impact Wrestling. And then we'll close out this week's show with Ring of Honor. So Commander defeating Greg K. Loco, Daniel Garcia defeating Christopher Daniels. Tag team match, we had 6-man tag teams, Gates Eggity, Khan, and Toya Liliana defeat Ashley Andrade and Darius Martin. 6-man tag team match with the Righteous Dutch and Vincent Taylor Stu Grayson defeat McCray Martin, Rip Impact, and Zach Patterson. And a proof of ground match, Women's Champion at the defeating Celisa Sparks. Tag team match with Big Bill and Lee Moriarty defeating the boys Brandon and Brent Tate. In a triple threat match, Mark Briscoe defeating J.D. Drake and Tony Nese. Monte defeating Vanessa Craven. And a fatal 6-way match, 6-man tag champion Brian Cage defeating Josh Woods, Don Castle, Shane Taylor, Trent Seven, and Willie Mack. In a 6-person tag team match, we had the Kings, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, who was here with the returning Leila Hirsch. It was originally supposed to be Maria Caness Bennett, but she was not cleared to compete, so we got the return of Leila Hirsch, defeating the Infinity Cody Brown and Sean Dean, who was from Trish Dora. So that's the show this week, guys. I'm your host, Ethan Black. We'll be back on Sun Top with the shows from Friday through Sunday. Have a good weekend, guys, and stay safe.